Hi guys, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for Monday the 11th of May going through until Sunday the 17th of May 2020. It's really nice to be with you today. Before I do the horoscope, I'm celebrating 10 years of sobriety today. So thank you for writing in. Some of you guys remembered, so you know who you are. Thank you for the lovely emails. And Tina, thank you so much for this amazing top that you sent me. It's super colorful. It's got the chakras on here. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Tina. This horoscope is for all signs of the zodiac. It's for everyone who watches. What I do is I break the week down every day and I look at what relationships the planet form. As above, so below. The energies then affect all of us here, which is why the reading is for all signs of the zodiac and everyone who watches. And we can use that to our advantage, and sometimes we have to watch out for curveballs. What's interesting about this week is that the personal planets, Mercury, Mars, Venus, they're all on the move, they're shifting signs. And the outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, which are about generations in the world and humanity, two of them are going retrograde. So they're cementing your identity. It's a good week to pay attention because there's a sense of deepening yourself and becoming certain in particular areas of your life so that you can move forward. It's really a productive, fun week. So stay active, keep your eyes and ears open. There are a lot of opportunities coming through this week. All right, so let's start with Monday the 11th. We've got Saturn going retrograde until September. Saturn is the astrological security planet. It's about, okay, have we got a foundation in place that actually works so that it's secure and we can build a house on this? That's the kind of question that Saturn asks. Is this new job that you're starting, is it good for you? Think of Saturn as a father figure and as a taskmaster figure. So Saturn wants you to be your best all the time, and with it going retrograde, you look for those qualities within yourself and you feel more settled within yourself naturally. Mercury, the communication planet, goes into Gemini, a sign that it rules. So Mercury couldn't be any happier than when it is in Gemini because it's all about communicating, and nothing blocks Mercury when it's in the sign of the twins. You're really able to have a dialogue with yourself, with other people, with the world. Everything is very clear to you and you see things from a great perspective. Mercury stays in Gemini for the next 3 weeks. So that's really good news. We've got Venus, the planet of love and beauty, going retrograde on the 13th of May. That's Wednesday. So really use Monday and Tuesday to sign contracts, to make new business deals and to start new relationships. You'll be really, really clear. And I'll talk about Venus in a moment. But Mercury in Gemini also squares Mars, the planet of masculinity and ambition, which is in Aquarius. Aquarius is the water bearer. It's like temperance in the tarot. It's about letting go of the negative, looking at the future, looking at how you can be involved, how you can be of service, and how you can achieve something for the greater good. It's pretty noble. So Monday the 11th of May, 11 in itself, very much highlighted by Mars in Aquarius. 11 has always been the master number of service. So in numerology, 11 is Aquarius in astrology. So on Monday, you really have a great start to this week. Your focus shifts naturally. You take responsibility for who you are, your actions, what you're able to do, what you have done in the past, and you don't get stuck. With Mercury in Gemini, it's really a wonderful time to look ahead and to start the new relationship or the new business, to launch the new website, whatever it is you want to do that you're excited about. I'll speak about Venus retrograde now because it's important. When a planet is retrograde, it doesn't go backwards, it just appears to go backwards. Think of two cars on the motorway, okay? Both are doing 70 miles an hour. This one starts to do 80, And the people sitting in this car will look back on this car and it will look like it's going backwards, this one. It doesn't go backwards, it's just a bit slower. So that's what Venus retrograde does. But before Venus retrograde happens, there's a shadow period where Venus starts to slow down. We have the same thing with Mercury, with Jupiter, with all the planets. Before they go retrograde, obviously they seem to go backwards. They obviously slow down, right? So yeah, some people take the shadow period into account. So with Mercury communication issues, they take the shadow period, so 2 weeks slowing down before and 2 weeks after. If you take all of that into account, you'll never send another email again. I take the retrograde seriously. Mercury retrograde, you can just avoid little errors, and if that's something you struggle with, then that's always good. But Venus retrograde is really serious. It's about what we love, what we desire, what we want to work with. So it really affects most of our day-to-day life, from when we wake up to when we go to bed. So Venus goes retrograde on the 13th, on Wednesday, so I'm not taking the shadow periods into account, and I'm saying Monday, Tuesday, go for the relationships, go for the new businesses when they appear, because I really think that the Mercury in Gemini mitigates the fact that Venus is starting to slow down. So I think it's a wonderful day to start new things. On Tuesday, the 12th of May, we have the moon going into Aquarius at 3:40 in the afternoon. So we've got more Aquarius energy now. The moon is the most sensitive part of who you are, one of your chakras here. And it just gives you a sense of, I want to do something nice for other people. I think that would make me feel really good. Mars, your planet of ambition and drive, that goes into Pisces. So think of Mars, the red planet, a fireball, being plopped into a bowl of water. Not very happy. Mars does not like being in Pisces. It rules Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, and now it's in the last sign of the zodiac, Pisces. So Mars is forced to chug and churn through the emotional stuff, which it doesn't like doing. It likes to be practical and to move ahead. So on Tuesday, there is that inner certainty, and with the communication planet in Gemini and Mars, this sense of irritation and feelings not being articulated, that goes away, and you're really able to speak from your heart before the Venus retrograde on the next day. So I would use Tuesday to resolve any personal or business issues that you have in your life before Venus goes retrograde on the 13th and stays in retrograde until the 25th of June. I always just take Venus retrograde very seriously because it doesn't happen every year. It is the planet of love and beauty, and just because I've had evidence of, if you ignore it, how badly it can go. I've talked very often about a relationship I had that imploded, and it started during a Venus retrograde and it ended after the retrograde. Those kind of situations, they take a lot out of you emotionally, so be careful with that. Obviously, we can't plan our lives every moment to, oh, I'm not flying because Venus is retrograde. We still do it. We still conduct business even when Venus is in retrograde. I mean, we are restricted enough at the moment as it is. So really don't let these get on top of you, and just realize that if you focus on a different area, it'll be easier. So let's look at Wednesday. The retrograde happens on the 13th to the 25th of June, and that's the main energy of Wednesday. So the planet rules love, romance, creativity, life, new beginnings, and beauty. When it's in retrograde, these things can become confusing. If something is really, really intense, that's kind of a sign that you're on the wrong track, and that this is something relationship-wise that is so intense it's not going to last. Those kind of relationships are quite common during Venus retrograde. And also, if you have this brainchild that you want to give life to, the 13th of May to the 25th of June, if you can at all possibly avoid it, then try and do it before. So for instance, I want to make some of my tarot videos, I want to make those into audio files so I can put them on a podcast. I've got that idea, I'm starting to do that, And it's because of the Mercury in Gemini energy starting to build up. I'm doing this on the day before, on Sunday afternoon, on Sunday the 10th. So I'm already feeling this Mercury energy. So do the new projects that you want to do now before the retrograde, please. Because the 13th until the 25th is what? Like 4, 5, 6 weeks? 5, 6 weeks? So you don't want to not be starting new things. We've already got the lockdown, for goodness sakes. You don't want to avoid things even more. Pour your energy into something new and fun before the 13th. On Thursday the 14th, we've got Jupiter going retrograde until September, and Jupiter is the planet of good luck and good fortune. So it joins Saturn retrograding and Venus retrograding. And Saturn is an outer planet, and so is Jupiter. And they create the Great Conjunction this year. The retrograde of Jupiter means that not only do you have a certainty within yourself now, you also start to see opportunity within yourself. So self-talk is going to be good. It's going to be positive. So with both those outer planets appearing as if they go backwards, being in retrograde, you're naturally going to gain a lot of joy and satisfaction from any kind of creative project that was started before the Venus retrograde. So pouring your energy into something that's already there. So let's say you've planned your wedding for the 14th of May. You didn't start that wedding on the 14th of May itself. It was planned 2 years ago when you looked around for venues and when she asked you to marry her, and all those things were done before. So if the wedding is planned on the 14th, don't cancel it. It's a great time to actually do something that was planned ahead of time. Do you see what I mean? So instead of starting the podcast on the 14th, do it on Monday or Tuesday if you possibly can. And the shadow period of the retrogrades, only you can decide whether you're going to take that into account. I don't, because I'm a very sensitive person, and I feel that the retrograde in itself is sufficient and the shadow periods aren't strong enough to make any difference. That's why I don't count them. On Friday the 15th, the moon goes into Pisces at 1:26 in the afternoon. The Pisces moon then conjuncts Mars in Pisces. The moon in Pisces makes you very psychic, very intuitive, very sensitive to other people and their feelings. If someone just calls you and vents and just dumps all their stuff on you, you'll be really sensitive to that kind of stuff. Whereas other days, especially before Friday, most of the week, you'd really have kind of broad shoulders before, and you'd be able to brush things off from other people. On Friday, you become much more sensitive, which is a good thing but a bad thing. We've all been told, oh, don't be so sensitive. I certainly have. But sensitivity is a gift, so you feel things. So it's a double-edged sword, as most things are on this planet, which is ruled by duality, shadow and light. It squares Mars in Pisces, so Mars isn't happy anyway. A square creates friction between the moon and Mars, so that's really irritable. And there's another square with Mercury in Gemini. So Mercury and Mars kind of pull the moon out of Pisces, while Mars doesn't because it's also in Pisces. But Mercury in Gemini really alleviates this day again. It's a fabulous opportunity for anyone creative or intuitive, spiritual, psychic, to continue working on something you really care about. So plan ahead tonight, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Get it started. Psychics and intuitives are going to find answers because they come much more easily to you. During the summer, if you're in the northern hemisphere, the winter, if you're in the southern hemisphere, by simply looking within. Saturn and Jupiter in retrograde. So by meditating or connecting, continuing to find this connection with something bigger than yourself, you're really going to gain a lot of understanding. But it's not the day to air personal grievances, the 15th. So if you're unhappy with someone about their conduct, don't get into it with another person. It's not going to resolve. It's just going to cause resentment and someone saying, I'm busy, I'm looking within, don't bother me. So you're just barking up the wrong tree, really. So don't waste your energy. On Saturday, the 16th of May, we've got the Pisces moon, so sensitivity, sitting on Neptune in Pisces, the water planet in the sign it rules Pisces. So water, water, water. So now the feeling side of things really takes over. It sextiles Venus, love in retrograde, in the sign of the talker and the twins, Gemini. And it forms a harmonious relationship with Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, in Capricorn. So I work, therefore I can be whoever I want to be. So the levity and clarity that you've had the day before about yourself, that really leaves you on Saturday, and you start to feel like I need to make decisions, and they're based on your feelings. They will be on Saturday. If you make a decision without any facts and you feel really intense and you feel like you have to do this now, then you can almost guarantee that you're going to end up in a muddle if you do it. Like if this person comes along and you're like, oh, he's so beautiful, this is my opportunity, I'll never have it. It blocks your progress by kind of giving you these rose-tinted spectacles, and during the retrograde you see everything strangely. And when the retrograde ends and you're out of it, out of the retrograde, and you look at this person that you apparently fell so madly in love with, and now Venus is direct, and you're like, oh, how am I gonna get out of this one? You see, so save yourself the energy. It's not worth the, well, if you do want to just waste some emotional energy and have a good time and cause a bit of drama in your life, this is the week to do it, especially the weekend. But if you want things to be calm and peaceful and have a purpose, then avoid jumping into things without knowing about them and going on your feelings. No. Sunday, we can always trust our feelings, but sometimes it's ego, like urgent now, and sometimes it's the higher self. I talk a lot about that in my personal readings because I can see your chart. So Sunday, the 17th of May, finally, the moon goes into Aries. I mentioned this, yes. So it's now about let's go, let's move forward. It sits on top of Chiron in Aries, so the wounded healer. So moving forward, kind of doesn't end up that well. The sun is in Taurus, so earth and money and looking at nice things, that's going to be a priority. It trines Jupiter in Capricorn, but instead of looking at the spas and the jewels, you're looking within and asking, what can I do to make things better? The Pisces moon sextiles both the sun in Taurus and Jupiter in Capricorn. So water and earth, feeling and doing. Whereas the beginning of the week was much more air and fire. Air and fire are masculine, and it's about I do, I go, especially Monday, Tuesday. And earth and water are feminine. It's about receiving and creating an idea and letting it flow and letting it grow organically and naturally. It's a different way of doing things. The shift is, well, the theme is kind of similar to the day before in the sense that it's really overwhelming when it comes to your feelings. So the best way I would manage this weekend is not to run off and do things. I'd manage existing projects rather than starting any new ones. And I actually think that this change of energy is going to help people who are still in lockdown, because you become richer from within and naturally more introspective as a result, less gregarious. You don't want to be around a lot of people if you're just like, wow, what's this voice inside telling me to do? It becomes easy to sit alone and to distance. So people who've been struggling with this, at the end of the week you find it much easier, because the next week we have the moon going in Aries, then it'll go into Taurus. The moon stays in each sign for about 2.5 days. And Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, it's the beginning of the year because astrology is based on the Northern Hemisphere. So it's all about power. And here it's about kind of winding down. And that's the feeling, like Monday, Tuesday, and then we're kind of closed. And then it's like, okay, let's manage what we've got. So be kind to yourself and realize that you do have feelings and that you're not a machine and that you too can get hurt. And look at who you allow into your life and be conscious about that, because you're making the decision, and really say, is this an emotional risk worth taking? Some people are really resilient emotionally and they like drama. Some people, like me, emotionally, I don't like to be hurt. No one does. But some people, I think, enjoy the drama of it, like I said. So that's what I get for you this week. I hope you have a lovely, lovely time. If you'd like a personal reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. I'm running a discount at the moment on urgent and emergency readings. It's a 25% discount, so it's a quarter off all those readings. So have a look at the website, gregoryscott.com, to see what readings I have available. If you like this video, then please hit subscribe and share it online. And I'm also going to try and start a podcast today where I make the daily tarot readings, not just YouTube, but I'm also going to try and get them uploaded as audio files. That's a fun thing I'm going to play around with this Sunday evening. So if you have similar ideas, something that's exciting you and that just popped out of the blue, it's a good sign, because it's before the retrograde and you can implement it now, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then you can work with it during the retrograde. You see what I mean? And that's the best way to use and surf out a Venus retrograde, by devoting yourself to something or someone before and then seeing it through. So there you go. That's what I get for the week. I hope you have a lovely time. Have an amazing, amazing 7 days, and I'll speak to you next week. All the best.